I'm trying to get people over. Oh, here we go. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to Untethered Talk with Robin Thomas, usually at 2 o'clock, but today it's at noon. And usually it's on Friday, but today it's on Monday. So Moon Day.
Schedule was a little bit challenging for the next couple of weeks on Fridays.
So we wanted to talk about negative self-talk.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you tell me that this is a common thing.
It is a very common thing.
Wow.
It is something my clients are like. I talk to every single one of my clients at some point comes to me with something because their gremlin voice is so loud that they don't have any, they think it's the truth.
Yeah. That when the voices are coming from inside your head, it's really easy to believe them.
Right. Exactly. And like a lot of people don't even realize that that's not their voice. Right. Like it's just, that's my voice in my head, right? Because it speaks in your voice.
Yep. And it knows you really, really well.
Yes.
It knows you better than you know yourself. Anyway.
And honestly, it took me till I was 40, I think, before I learned. I didn't even learn, and I've been doing this work forever, but I didn't even learn until I think I was 40 when I had my own mental breakdown that that wasn't my voice, that I had a choice whether or not to listen to it. It took me another couple of years to stop listening to it, but it was like,
You were what?
I was really in it. Like I was like, but that's just the way, like it was just, that's the way it is, right? There was no distance. There was no space, which is why those people come to me. That's why my clients come, because your clients will always come with the shit you're dealing with.
Every master was once a disaster, right?
Right, exactly.
So we have a case study to discuss of this to its extreme. I recently went through a thing wherein I started yelling at myself uncontrollably for 2 days. And it was like, it's not just like, blah, right? Like I'm fucking nuts and like my beaker's just off. I don't beaker. But it was a series of thoughts. It's this round cycle of thoughts where the first thought is very tempting to think. It made itself really tempting. Yep. It's like, I feel good when you think me. So you're like, okay, I'll just take this part and I won't go the rest of the way. And then bam, up. And my thing was yelling at myself because I had embarrassed myself or whatever the case may be. But the energy just got to be so much that it had to come out. Right. And I did not have control of it. I did not know this is a place that you could go. Mm-hmm. I didn't know. I really didn't.
Well, you went through you're smack in the middle of, well, I think you're on the recovery phase of it, but you went through this darkness, right? You had to, in order to learn this lesson in a really visceral way. I mean, we did it. You went live and we coached on it a couple of weeks ago, which is, my hat is still off to you for that. Because it's very easy for you to spend so much time in your head, it's very easy for you to, and you're super creative, that it's very easy for you to create an entire scenario of something based on one tiny little thought. Yep. That's not based in reality. That's not true.
Oh, okay. I think, that's something we should probably reveal.
No, it doesn't. But we don't even need to get into the particulars because the story doesn't matter.
Right? No, the story doesn't matter. But the fact that neither one of the points that I was freaking out about was actually real does matter.
Right. Which at the time I kept trying to say, can we be sure this is true? How do we know this is true? What would you be if this wasn't true? Like I did a whole Byron Katie, but you were yeah, no, it's really true. It's definitely true. And I was like, okay, we're not going to do Byron Katie on this. But like Byron Katie, her whole work is that really true? can you be 100% sure it's true? How does believing this, what does it make you feel? And where would you be without this belief? Like, that's the crux of her work.
I wasn't having it. I was not having
Exactly.
it. I was like, I don't know about you, but I can be 100% sure, and I am.
Right. Exactly.
I know this is what happened, and it was a lot. It was interesting.
But we do that. Like our brain wants to keep us safe. Like our brain is lying to us almost 100% of the time.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter what's going on. Our brains are lying to us. Right. So you're right. Was it you that I was talking to that I said, don't listen to the first thought? Or was
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
Right.
Just
That was
as
you.
soon as it goes, stick another thought in there.
Right. Do not listen to the first thought. Get the next thought underneath it. Because the first thought is the lie. Like the first thought is almost always a lie because our brain wants to keep us safe. Our brain is very, very good at mining for data that will keep us safe. And safe to the brain means not having to feel pain or not having to be sad or not having to feel abandoned and not having to do any of the things that as children were catastrophic. So the brain wants to just that's our ego. That's our little small self. And it serves a purpose. It really does. It actually did keep us safe when we were young and powerless.
Mhm.
It actually did keep us. Like, did you ever watch the movie Inside Out?
Yeah, I love that movie.
It's an amazing movie, right? Like fear is necessary, right?
Yeah.
It keeps us from getting killed. It keeps us from not touching the hot stove. It keeps us from not doing things that are dangerous, right? Like that's fear has a role.
Mhm.
And if we let fear run our lives, and we do most of the time, this is what I talked about in my live this morning, is we're trying so desperately to fit some mold. We're trying to fit in that we can't be ourselves, which means we're run by fear. Because we're terrified of, I don't want that, but I don't want that either. And I definitely don't want that one. So it's like the closer we get boxed in. And that's really, you had boxed yourself so tightly wound that you were gonna have to explode because you had no place else to go.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense given the circumstances that surrounded. I mean, this was not just a one-off. This is something that's been building for a very long time.
Maybe 42 years in the making.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't like this week was a problem. That wasn't the problem.
This was the culmination.
This was like seriously a culmination of a lifetime of shame and regret, squashing it all down, embarrassment, right. Self-loathing, just no, boom.
Yep.
Yeah. And then right? And then being where I was at the conference with awesome people who I just cannot be myself around. Like I had to dial everything down, because it's just not what's done.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you don't just randomly start dancing. So
again, is that true?
And right, true, but let's just say for now that I was restricted in my behavior.
Oh, you chose to restrict yourself.
I chose to restrict my behavior. Yep. Because that's not the sort of thing that's done in there.
Right.
I'm not the sort of thing that's done around me. Fucking liberal. Yeah. So the fact that that really intensified during that week where I just couldn't be anything that was me.
Right. But it was a perfect storm. It was a perfect storm of and this is exactly like in, I guess, the infinite kindness of the universe, where the universe would be like, hey, Jen, do you want to maybe do things differently?
Well, sure, I'll do things differently.
You want to try maybe doing different things and get a different result? Maybe do you want to try that? Hey, Jen, hey. And then it grabs you by the shoulders and it's like, I'm not fucking around this time. What are you doing? And so this is the infinite kindness of the universe, put you in this perfect situation with the perfect storm, with the turning down all of your volume on all of it, and you had to explode, right? So that's what you did, and now you're in the recovery phase of that.
Yeah.
You went through the dark night and you're on the other side of it.
I am, and I'm working on it. And the good thing about, well, there's actually a lot of good things about it. It's just a little embarrassing, but that's good because it teaches me to deal with embarrassment. And embarrassment is like one of my things. I mean, we all don't like to be embarrassed, but like, I will beat myself over the head with an embarrassing moment from when I was 5. You know what I mean? It's not. No one else but me is aware of this moment, and it might not even be real.
But that's a real charismatic, the big leadership, charismatic energy that you and I both carry. That's a thing. Like, shame to a charismatic leader is the wound. Like, that's the wound we take as children. That's the wound that, like, in the spirit world, we come in to learn those wounds, but like, those are the wounds that, like, those are the chains that, like, shame is the big one for those of us with this big leadership energy, because we can't, vulnerability of any kind is terrifying.
Yeah, no, yeah. I see that, and I'm just wondering about my specific thing here, which is this charismatic leader thing that you're talking about, and then this, like, I have no choice but to be incredibly vulnerable out there in the world, because that's just, I don't function otherwise. Like, I have to just be that.
Right, exactly. But that's where the shame piece comes in for you. That's why it's such a big deal for you, right? Shame is a third chakra energy. Shame is what we carry in the third chakra. So if we have wounding in the third chakra, it is always around shame, because that's the demon of the third chakra. Guilt is in the second chakra. You can do something and feel guilty for it, like feel badly for your actions, right? Yeah. Guilt is, I did this bad thing, I feel bad for it. Shame is, I did this bad thing, I'm a bad person.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big deal. And that's specifically for you, a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. It's funny, moments like this, stuff just starts to come together, and you're like, oh, that's why I do that. Got it. Okay. All right. I see that. Yeah. But it's amazing, actually, that I'm not that I'm encouraging anybody else to have, like, I was really close to a nervous breakdown. Like, I was really close to battling an idiot. Like, I was really close. I won't say I was worried, because that's too strong of a word. And I was desperately holding this, like, I was holding you in this whole space. So I wasn't worried, but I was absolutely alerted and concerned for you. Like, I really was legitimate. And then Jamie Jackson texted me, and she's like, okay. And I was like, and Sue Brader texted me, and she's like, is that okay? I was like, and he texted me, and I was like, I think so. there was a handful of us that were just holding you in the safe, amazing container of, like, she's gonna be okay, we're gonna hold her, she's gonna be all right. That gives me such joy and such peace. Like, yep. You know my thing about being alone. So that just, like, that's like a little balm on a wound there. Thank you.
And that's what I wanted. I wanted you to know that, because there really was a cadre. There was like a phalanx of around you that were just like, it's okay, we got you.
I mean, yeah. It definitely worked. It worked. Because, like, I was, if I had allowed myself to get scared of what I was doing, that would have been it.
I said it before, and I will say it again. You have ovaries of steel. Like, I am like, my hat is off to you, ovaries of steel, because you did it and you refused to give in. And that was really amazing.
Thank you. I worked really hard. It was really hard, Robin.
I know. And you did it, though. You did amazing. Like, I really want you to celebrate that. Like, really, truly let in that you have faced down the demon and won.
Yay! I killed the demon.
You did.
it was really, it's interesting. I just want to also put this out there for anybody who might be dealing with something like this, or know someone who does something like this, where they just start, I mean, like, honestly, it's funny in a way, like just randomly shouting. It's funny to think about someone else doing it. When you're doing it, it's like, what the fuck is happening? But what would happen is, like, you know, like I was saying, that thought would start, it would go in a circle, the energy would build, and it had to be expressed, and I had no control over it. I was out of the building when it happened. But every time I was able to get back and like, okay, like calm myself down and you know, encourage myself. I was like, you're doing such a good job. You're doing a great job. This is really hard. You were doing a really good job the entire time. That's all I said to myself.
Nice. Good.
And then yeah, what was the other thing I was asking? I don't remember, but it is it's terrifying in a way. And it's you know what it is it's exhausting, and it's incredibly painful. Like to have your emotions spike up like that, like to the furthest degree they can go, and then have to calm yourself down, and then have them go right back up. It's fucking exhausting. It's like,
yes, it is.
And then the pain, like, I mean, it's like, it's a lot of pain, like a lot. So anybody out there who knows somebody, or is somebody who randomly shouts randomly,
well, you know, I again, yours, you go big or go home, Jen Sullivan, right? But and people may feel that depth of pain and not be able to have that reaction. Like, so people may have that depth of pain, they may still be trying to stuff it and shove it and turn the volume down. If it doesn't get expressed, it either goes inward as depression and anxiety, or it goes outward as rage. And look at the world we live in, that's what we have.
yeah,
right? So whether or not they get to that extreme example of like, you have no control over it because you've left the building because your creative person is just like, we're out the fuck of here. Not, no. But that rage, inward or outward, depression and anxiety or rage out, that's the world we live in, because it's right, we all live in this. So all of us are dealing with shame and fear and guilt and anxiety, right? So turning the volume down on it and stuffing it down, that's why we have disease, that's why we have plagues, that's why we have all the shit that we have, right? It's why we have shadow leaders, because it's like bringing everything up and asked to do it.
Dude, that's like a macrocosm of what happened to me. like everything came up.
Right.
Yeah, like, but no, it's really, really interesting that we're headed to a time. I mean, we are in a time that's full of that. Right. And we really do need to learn how to deal with it.
Exactly. Because it's just going to continue to squeeze. It's just going to continue to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze, like you did this, like, as a healer, we go through it first, right? You did this, you had this like eruption because you could no longer contain it, right? It's like when you shake a soda bottle. If you shake a soda bottle enough, it's going to explode.
yeah
right? Learning to let the air out of the soda bottle a little bit at a time is what you've been doing and what you're currently doing, and this is what I teach. But like, our job is to let the air out of soda bottle, and so it's true on the microcosm, it's true on the individual, because it's true at the collective level. So if you heal it, you heal just a little bit more at the collective level.
That's what I want. That's what I want.
You're already doing it. You're already doing it.
We're doing it together right now.
Absolutely. But you did it already. You did it already when you went through your dark night and you refused to give up. When you refused to give in, you already took it out of the world. You already healed the collective.
I like that.
So good job.
I think we heaped up too high, but Thank you. I like, honestly, one of the things I'm doing, well, I've mentioned this a couple of times. I broke up all the tension in my back and my neck and my scalp. And I think that's one of the huge factors that played into this, because that's where I was storing everything.
Right. Exactly.
That's where everything was being stored. And so like, it was like the perfect storm. And so I'm now hyper aware of when I tense areas of my body, because I've been focused on them so much to untense them. So it's like I can feel the parts of my body that are tensing up in various things, or when I stop breathing, which is a common thing for me.
Right.
And it's really good. It's really allowing me to do that. But the thing that I was gonna say is it's just a matter of relaxing
and allowing, right? Like
allowing. That was huge.
Yes, that's a big one, is allowing and acknowledging that what we feel is okay and allowing it in.
Yes. Like, seriously, the whole time I was just allowing it to happen. It's like, okay, this is what's gonna happen. This is what's happening. I can't do much about it.
Right? I have no choice, so I'm just gonna have to surrender to it. And that's what I mean. Yes, you needed to be brought to your knees and then prone on the floor before you went really kicking and screaming, which most of us do. Again, that charismatic leader that refuses to surrender, because we're the warriors, right? So surrender is anathema, right? Like, it is not okay. So like we have to be brought leveled in order to be able to recreate, right? That's actually the concept of like basic training, or like when you actually join the military, they break you so they can build you up. And I don't necessarily, I'm not anything against the military. I think veterans deserve everything that we can give them and more. But that act of, you have to be broken in order to be right. And I think of it that I call Phoenix Rising healings. You have to immolate in order to rise.
Yeah.
So,
and here I come, world.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a very important point for people to realize, is that what's going on in their head. That was the other thing that helped me. I knew, because I've studied Michael Singer so much, like I listened to him on repeat. Our thoughts and our feelings are not us. And that was a constant thought during this whole time. Like, this isn't me. This is something else. I just got to calm down. My responsibility here is to calm myself down.
Exactly. And soothe the inner child, soothe the traumatized part of us that didn't know, that doesn't have distance, that doesn't have, like, the 2, 3, 4-year-old that doesn't actually have the ability to discern what's yours and what's not. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's infinite compassion for the person who feels the feelings.
That is something I'm learning too.
Right.
That was something I was just about to say, like, saying that, I did a good job and I made it through, and like that's like praise for a job well done. Usually makes me feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I want to push it away. And right now I can feel, like, right on this left side of the solar plexus area, a tightening against accepting any compliments.
So your third chakra, which is your sense of self and your sense of will, and your left side, which is what?
The shadow.
Feminine. The allowing. Right? So you allowing it in, it's hitting a vow, it's hitting that tension.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You get to have compassion. You get to breathe into that space and be like, it's totally okay. I know it's hard. It's all right. You get this. right? You, the conscious you, gets to do that to the unconscious part of you, and you get to co-create and allow it together.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting because like there's this general feeling right now. I know we're gonna go that I just want to explain this to people. That's like there's an energy that does not want to accept any compliments. Like it's bad. Don't do that. You can't do that.
Right.
You're not good. You're bad.
Right. And that piece needs love more than any other piece of you. That's the piece of you that the infinite compassion and the infinite patience, and be like, I know it's wicked scary. I know you've never been shown that that was okay. And in fact, you were told the exact opposite most of the time. It's totally okay. Maybe, just maybe let in. It's possibly okay.
That's what I'm trying to do right now. And it feels
Yeah.
real weird. It's really, really weird. It's like nothing is happening. Bad, and I'm starting to feel good about myself. Like the world is not crumbling.
Right. The sky didn't fall.
Right.
And most of us run around like Chicken Little most of the time. The sky is falling, the sky is falling. Right?
Seriously.
Yeah. So
All right.
I want you to let this in. I want you to hear this, and I'm going to say it publicly because I said it in private, but I want you to hear this and I want you to let it in. You are doing tremendous work. The kind of work that will inspire me for the rest of my life. Okay? Let it in.
Thank you for saying.
I mean it sincerely. This has been an amazing journey to watch you be on.
It's been, I mean, obviously, let's state this to everybody right now. You can't do it alone. You cannot
Nope.
do it alone. You can't. You will go insane. You
Yep.
will.
Yep.
Okay, I gotta go. This has been an awesome. I'm watching my excitement levels right now.
Okay, good.
We're gonna keep it low key for a while.
That is
Really
cool.
Yeah, it's gotta be. I mean, I know I'm a very excitable person, and that's actually something I like about myself, but
And also the extremes of any emotion are dangerous edges because it's the same extreme. Right?
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Nice.
Thank you so much, Robin, for everything. Like everything you do.
My pleasure.
We're gonna heal the world together.
100%. 100%. Yes.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.